If you're tired of the American women and dating and dealing with all that stuff and the amount of options that they have, and you're not quite fitting in, and you're being judged for your height, your looks, you're being judged for your financial status, you're being judged on where you live and all these other things like that, there is a solution, and there is a way for you to find success when it comes to women. And you'll have everything at your feet, including the women. We're going to get into it next on Marcus VanHorne, MVH Dating, next. Welcome to MVH Dating. I am your host, Marcus VanHorne. I'm on a mission to talk to men like yourself looking to navigate all the difficulties when it comes to women and dating and all the stuff that's currently plaguing love and relations in the United States today, okay, and around the world. So that's what we do here. So subscribe if you're new to the channel and you are into that and you find yourself single and you're going through all that stuff. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I put up new content. Let's get into it. So as I stated in the opening, there are people out there who are suffering from many problems when it comes to dating. It's a pain in the ass. There's no question. Things have changed. Women have more options. They're way more judgmental. The dating apps don't really seem to work in the favor of men unless you're 6'4", 6'5", whatever it is, and you've got a certain amount of income. There's a bunch of problems. The communication is all over the place. It's off. Women seem to be that much more picky and that much more temperamental when it comes to relationships. And it's a real mess. People aren't talking. People are fighting and constantly abusing one another online. And it's just become a real disaster. The divorce rate in the United States is what, over 50%, maybe over 60%? It's pretty nuts out there. So with that said, there's this whole movement, which I recently started talking about on my TikTok. You can check that out if you want. Passport bros, passport brothers, going to other countries essentially to find relations, to find sex, to find women, and do things in other countries with other women that will actually appreciate you, supposedly more than the American women here, right? So let's get into this. Let's talk about the passport bro thing, because I had some comments on it. Like I said, I've been talking about it on my TikTok, and I got a bunch of clapback from a bunch of brothers, apparently, who must be in that lame category of passport bros that I will describe shortly. I read some of the comments, and some of these guys are just, I guess, clearly in their feelings and quite insecure about themselves, so they felt the need to, whatever. Anyway, I digress. I'm sure I'll have some negative comments here as well, depending on how many people this reaches. The passport bro thing, leaving the country in favor of finding, getting more for your money. Better exchange rate is going to get you more for your money. If you go to another country, you're going to find the women are more malleable, more submissive, easily controlled because of the economic difference, all right? So you've got men leaving the United States, going to the Philippines, going to Colombia, going to DR, going to wherever it is, and they're discovering that they can hook up with women, and they can do it for much cheaper, less impact on their wallets. These are men who typically do not have anything to begin with in the United States. These are what I consider lame asses, right? So a lot of these people that I've seen, I've watched some of the videos, I've seen some of the so-called influencers and some of their clients and the people they deal with. We'll get more in that in a minute as well. But a lot of these guys aren't doing well here in the United States, so they go to a country where they can be treated as a king. Now, is there something wrong with being treated as a king? Is there something wrong going somewhere where it's cheaper to get some ass than it is up here? I guess there's nothing wrong with that. And I also want to be clear, as we get into this video, we get deeper in this, I want to be clear that I'm not talking to the brothers, to the men who are passionate about exploring other countries, other cultures, other types of booty in different land. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a man who's successful here in the United States, you haven't had issues when it comes to relationships, you haven't had issues when it comes to hooking up with women, you're pretty on par when it comes to, financially stable, you've got swag, you got your stuff going on, you weren't slapped with the ugly stick when you were born, you're pretty relatively decent, attractive male who has not had any issues here with American women, right? But you haven't quite found love yet, and maybe you're looking for a different brand of women. So you travel to different places. You like Trinidadian women. You like Ethiopian women. You like Dominican women. You like Puerto Rican, whatever it is. That's your taste. That's your choice. That's your preference. You like traveling. You like the different culture. You like the experience with these women. That is not who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to you brothers out there who already have proven that you're substantial catch here. You just prefer to travel and you like that lifestyle. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm specifically talking to the people, the brothers, the men, the lame asses, who in this country you clearly are struggling. Clearly struggle. I'm not making fun of you for struggling. I'm making fun of you for the fact that you just leave your struggle and think that if you go somewhere else, your lameness won't make much of a difference. You're escaping your lameness. You're escaping your weakness. So I'm making fun of those people who, oh, I can't keep up with the women here. These women are too difficult. Oh, it's too hard to impress them nowadays. I don't have what it takes to impress them. So I need to go somewhere else where I look like a god. It's just lame. That's lame no matter how you cut it. No matter how you slice it, that's just being a lame ass brother. That's all that is. Right? That's like the equivalent of not being able to fight here in this country. Not being able to go into the UFC, whatever your desire is. You go into, let's just say for the sake of this example, you want to be a fighter, you want to get into the UFC, you want to get in the arena there, and you're having a hard time here because the competition is so strong. Competition is whooping your ass, and you can't seem to make it. So someone tells you, some influencer on TikTok tells you, hey, brother, come over to this country. They got a much smaller whatever. They've got, the people are smaller. They're weaker. The men don't fight as well. They have techniques that are outdated. And their rules and regulations allow for all sorts of stuff that you couldn't possibly have to worry about, like that you have to worry about in the United States. So come here and you'll be winning. So you pack your bags and you go to that country and you start fighting and whooping ass on a bunch of younger, weaker men that can't possibly keep up with you. So it makes you feel good. That's the same thing that's happening with the passport bros when it comes to women. It's the same thing. There's no difference. You are weak here. You can't keep up when it comes to women. So you go to a country where you usually are getting with women that are younger than you. So there's a lot of creepy old men that go to do this, and they go to countries and they seek out these women that are 10, 15, 20, 30 years younger than you. They're more submissive. So the comparison is, well, the women in the United States, are not submissive. I can't control them. Unless, of course, I had a lot of money and I was 6'5" and I was actually a worthy man of being a leader. But if I go to a country like this young chick ain't got nothing. She's from a third world country. I look like a god to her. You're not a god. You're a guy. It's a transactional relationship is what it is. It's transactional and it's predatory at the same time. It's also dangerous. It's dangerous on both ends because they can see you coming from a mile away. So this idea that there's no harm, like it's dangerous. There's some pedophilia involved in this as well. Men, grown-ass men going to mess with young. Like if you have to go get a pliable 16-year-old or 18-year-old or barely legal or whatever it is in another country who barely speaks your language and you don't speak her, and like you can ply her with money and that's your version of having a woman that listens to me and cooks and cleans and takes care of me. I get more with that kind of woman. If that's what you have to do, just recognize you are not a solid man. If you were a solid man, a solid leader, a solid king, you'd be able to do that in the United States. You would be able to do that in the United States. You'd be able to do that anywhere. You'd be able to do it with a real woman. Again, going back to the fighting analogy, the fighting metaphor. If you can fight, you can fight. If you can put fist up, put feet up, do whatever it is. If your jiu-jitsu and all your moves and all your locks and your grabs, your grappling, whatever it is, if all that stuff is on point, yeah, you might lose a couple fights here and there, but you can keep your own. You can keep your own. You don't need to go fight weaker people or go to a nation of smaller people who don't have your skills to feel like a real fighter. That is just fucking lame. I'm sorry. Because I got the clap back for it. I got people saying that I'm just trying to sell my dating coach services. So I'm saying stuff against the passport bros because they're leaving the country and I need to somehow earn their dollar through my coaching business. Look, I stated it earlier in my videos. I've made it clear when I started my business. My brand, my whole thing, I'm just putting out there now in case you don't know, my brand is not to sell you on how to get laid, how to get more women attracted to you, how to get 10, 15 dates a week. That's not my thing. I'm not a 25, 30-year-old lame ass trying to show you what lines to use to help you get laid. I'm a 50-year-old man with same woman, with a dime piece woman. Okay, a dime. I got the highest of the high when it comes to high value women. All right, a Dominican woman. I've been with her for 15 years, married for 12 years, and I got my boys. I've got my legacy. I got beautiful children. All right, I already have all that. So my coaching, my services are not about telling you how to get laid. It's more about, look, you're a man. You might be struggling with certain issues within yourself, certain things. Maybe you can't dress. Your style is off. Maybe you don't understand certain things when it comes to being a gentleman. You need to up your game. That's what I'm about. I'm about building gentlemen and making sure that your shit is correct, so that you position yourself in the world in this competitive arena with women, that you position yourself with the best possible fundamentals and the best possible ammunition that you can use to be in that game, to be in that fight. That's what I'm about. I'm not going to get on TikTok and sell you stories about how you can get laid fast and what's the best way to do it and what country you should go to in order to feel like a god. That's not my thing. I want you to feel like a god in your own space wherever you are. And the other thing about it, I had somebody tell me, "Oh yeah, you don't understand dating because you're an older man." Yeah, I'm 50 plus, and like I said, I've already done it. I've already accomplished my stuff. And let me just be clear: I'm not somebody who was dating and got married back in 1990, and I'm clearly out of the game and don't understand the dating pool or don't know. Most of my friends, people I know, I should say, are single and struggling. Okay, and some of them are passport bros, but that's another whole story. But a lot of them are single and struggling. So I'm privy to what's going on. And I met my wife in 2009. So it's not like it's just been, I mean, yeah, it's been 15 years, but it's not as if I'm so far removed from understanding what's going on or the plight of dating. And there are certain things that are just universal. They're fundamental. They're not changing from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. Yeah, a few things have changed because of the online world, because of a lot of things, but I'm up on all that stuff. But again, my job is not to train you how to just get women. It's to train you how to work on yourself. And that's something that's not going to change. It's not going to change. As far as character, as far as being a man, as far as getting your stuff together, that's ancient wisdom from Marcus Aurelius or Ovid all the way through. So that's what it comes down to. So my age has got nothing. In fact, I actually wear my age with a badge of honor, and I share that with you. I share the fact that I've made mistakes. I've been divorced twice before I met this woman. So I'm not trying to come at you on some perfection. I know everything. I got it all worked out. That's not what it is. It's I've been through the game. I understand the game. I understand the fundamentals of being a man. I've always been that guy. I've made my mistakes. I've grown. And now I share that with the other men who are looking to do the same, whatever their age is. But I will conclude this by saying, if you think that running from your lameness and going somewhere where your lameness can be sort of overlooked for dollars, that is not a good thing for you. That's a bad thing. So work on yourself. Look at yourself. Figure out what it is you're missing. Figure out what's wrong with you. Your swag is not right. You got to compensate because you were hit with the ugly stick when you were born. You're not as tall as the other men. Whatever it is, you're financially not there. You live with your mommy and daddy. Whatever it is, figure it out. Work on that. Build that up. Stay where you are. Now, again, I'm not saying stay where you are from the position of you shouldn't explore other possibilities and options. Some people might want to work in another country for other reasons than just women. What I'm saying to you is, if you think it's all about, I need to go somewhere where my lameness won't be a handicap, that's not a good look. Work on your handicaps, and then you'll feel better about yourself. You're not going to feel better about yourself because you went and got with some chick who's 18 years old and struggling and basically sees you as like a paycheck for whatever it is down there, and she'll make you rice and she'll, do whatever, will give you a little booty, and that makes you feel better. That's not going to make you feel better as a man. All right. MVH Dating, Marcus VanHorne. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like the video on the way out. It helps on building the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when I put up new videos and you don't miss them. In the comments below, let me know what you think about the whole passport bro movement. Let me know if you're one of those passport bros. I can handle it, no big deal. If you think I'm wrong about what I'm saying, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your feedback, and I will see you on the next MVH Dating. Peace.